Happy New Year. Are you setting your intentions for 2024? If you're like me, you'll have maybe written down a list of all of the visions you have for your goals for 2024 and the aspirations for your future that this coming year is going to bring you. Maybe becoming a homeowner is on that list, and you're just trying to decide what the best approach is going to be. And you really want to get the best price for a home once you make that decision to start shopping for your first home. My name is Amy Debusk, and I'm your first time homebuyer specialist. And today I want to do a deep dive on the art of negotiation. So, one of the things that everyone should know when you come to a table of negotiating anything is that when the person who figures out what the other person wants first before they start negotiating has all the power. So, really, really important that your realtor asks the right questions of the listing agent to determine what the seller really needs. So, there's three areas of negotiations that come into play during a real estate transaction. The first area is when you actually make the offer and you negotiate the purchase price. And my recommendation on what you should negotiate upfront, typically, and this isn't for all transactions, so not all, every transaction is different. Every house buy is different. But typically, we like to only negotiate the purchase price in the first round of negotiations. So you want to get into contract, seal the deal on how much you're going to pay for that house, and try not to ask for any seller credits or any repairs up front. So that's the first round of negotiations. And you want to write the offer in a way that makes it so that the seller just can't even say no. So if the seller needs extra time, maybe to move out, maybe they've lived there for 35 years and they need an extra 30 to 45 days after the house closes to move out. Maybe you give them a free rent back, or maybe you just charge them $1 upfront to make it legit, but make it easy for the seller to say yes to your initial offer. Maybe you do a quick close and you close in 21 days to get it done with. Maybe the seller is already in contract on another house and they need to close really fast. So that's the first area of negotiations, is just getting the purchase price agreed upon. The second area of negotiation is when you do all your home inspections. So you could do a home inspection, you could do a roof inspection. If there's a well, you could do a well inspection, septic. There's lots of different inspections that you can do, but typically we do a home inspection up front. And so once you get that home inspection back, there's going to always be things on the home inspection that maybe the house needs repaired. Now, just to preface this with, there's no perfect house. Even brand new homes have issues. So, but maybe in that home inspection, there's some pest work that needs to be done, and you'd like the seller to pay for that. That is your second area of negotiations. Now, typically this happens about 2 weeks after you're already in contract. And what you want to remember is that you're emotional about buying that house. Well, the sellers are emotional about selling the house to you. They want to move just as bad as you want to move in. 2 weeks down the road is always a better time to negotiate the repairs. Maybe you're asking for repairs that are expensive, that it's just not realistic for the seller to actually do the repairs while you're in contract before you move in. So what you'll do is you'll ask for a seller credit to cover some closing costs. Now, just a side note, you cannot make money on a real estate transaction, so you can't get cash back, but you can get up to 3% of a seller credit on a conventional loan, 6% on an FHA loan, and 4% on a VA loan, as long as you have those in closing costs to offset the seller credit. So that's the second area of negotiation. The third area of negotiation sometimes doesn't happen, but it's when the appraisal comes back. So if the appraisal comes back lower than what you agreed to pay for the home, that's when you have to go back to the drawing board and you have to renegotiate the purchase price. And sometimes you might pay additional money towards the sale. Maybe the house value came in at 495,000, but you agreed to pay 500,000. Maybe you guys agree to drop the price $2,500 and you come in with an additional 25 to the closing table. Now, all banks will only lend you based on the value of your home. It doesn't matter what the purchase price is. The bank is going to go off of the appraised value. So if the house is appraised at 495,000 and you're putting 10% down and the bank is loaning you 90% of the purchase price, we're going to drop that to 90% of whatever the appraised value is. So those are the 3 areas of negotiations. If you have any questions about getting pre-approved for a home loan, or if you'd like more tips on negotiating the purchase price, please feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel where I regularly upload videos just